Kashe Rebere. It means, God, you are the authority. And you guys are going to say, La Ye Wa. It means in our life. All right? How about we give him some practice? B section. Here we go. Kashe Rebere.
That song transported me. It was just to know that God is my authority. That in my life. That is so wow. That's a wow one. Thank you. Thank you. That is Brashira. Well, here we go. Hey, this morning's message is webs and boxes. You ever hear, oh, the tangled webs we weave? You know, the tangled, how we have gotten stuck in the webs and the stories that we have told or are involved with in our life. Or the boxes we have boxed ourselves in life, that we have boxed ourselves into a situation, and now, you know, I'm like embarrassed to step out of it, or I'm, you know, something strange about coming forth or fessing up, and so I find myself in a box. And so this morning I'm hoping to get us out of that box or those webs we have found ourselves stuck in. And so one of the first stories that came to me in working with this was when I was a little kid. I had some neighborhood friends called the Hoffmans, and I would go with them all sorts of places. And one time we went to this indoor pool, and in this indoor pool was a high dive. And I watched all those Hoffman girls just race right up that ladder 20 feet into the sky and walk out to the edge of that platform and jump. Now, granted, I'm a little kid, but still, it was like, for me, that was a stretch. I don't know how one could jump so high from the sky or climb up that ladder. But as I watched them do that over and over, there was part of me that was kind of embarrassed for not actually doing it also. And there was part of me that was feeling, you know, not quite right, ashamed. I don't know what it was, but there was something. I was in this box that I wanted safety. I wanted Mother Earth, you know, to be able to stand on. But all of a sudden, something inside of me clicked, and I stepped outside of that box, and I scurried up those steps, and I walked out to the edge of that platform, and I looked there. I don't know. But then I jumped, and I was like, woo, it was wonderful. It was so good. I got out of the water, I scurried up those steps, and I did it again and again and again and again. And do you remember a time in your life when you had something that just kept you like not going, but you saw other people do it, and you knew that you could do it too, and watching others do it actually pushed you through your concern or your fear or the box that you were stuck in? Good. Okay, well, good. We're on the same track, because when you do that, it frees you up. I mean, after that, I was able to jump off the roof into the swimming pool at home, not Dad's happiness or anything. But, you know, I was able to jump off cliffs into rivers below and rocks into the ocean. And all of a sudden I began to stretch. And as we are willing to move through something, and sometimes it takes seeing somebody else do it that inspires us. I can remember like the first house I bought. I so wanted it, and I saw others doing it. And then I knew I could do it. Maybe a business, you've dreamed of having your own business. You saw others do a business, and all of a sudden you decided you could do it too, or investment, or a relationship, or whatever it is. There, all of a sudden something pulls you from the stickiness of the web that has kept you in your fear and your anxiety. And so what's valuable about that, say, hey, I'm stuck here. It's called owning your story. Brene Brown, remember last year we did a whole series on Brene Brown's book, The Gifts of Imperfection. She wrote, you've got to own your own story and learn to love yourself through that process. It's one of the bravest things you can do. When you can learn to own your own story and love yourself, that's the key. Can you love yourself? Can you like yourself? Can you appreciate yourself through the process of coming out of the stickiness, of the yuck, shaking off some of that stuff? Can you love yourself through that process? That's one of the bravest things we can do, because I'll tell you what, I know you can do it. This morning I invite you to take a look at something you'd like to be doing, but, I know you can do it. Barbara DeAngelis shared a fun story about a lamp, an exquisite, expensive, beautiful lamp. The lampshade made and sewn in Paris out of raw silk. The lamp itself sculpted out of crystals and jewels, and the bulb was it was a new invention, and its luminosity was just a healing kind of vibe, and it was just magical. And it sat on someone's desk, and they began to wonder if it wasn't quite right. It wasn't really working. It wasn't living up to the bulb being able to heal and do this magic and all those kinds of possibilities. And then they realized, you got to plug it in. Well, I want you to get, you are that exquisite lamp. You are that beautifully crafted expression of the divine. But you've got to plug yourself in if you want the light to go on, if you want to shine bright. You have been made and crafted by the hand of God itself. But so often we forget to plug into the Spirit. We are stuck in our box and forgetting that there is light and greater possibilities outside because we're caught up in our own story. And we're forgetting, and as you forget, it just gets older and bigger, the walls. And I grew up in this house as a kid. It was a beautiful house. It was like one of the first farmhouses built out in the San Fernando Valley area around the turn of the 20th century. And it was a house that was actually made with 2x4s. Not the kind you buy at Home Depot now, but ones that were really 2x4, and they were thick, and they were raw wood, and there was no drywall in the house. It was all lattice and plaster against chicken wire. Man, this house was solid. It was pointed roofs and peaks and barns.